Hi everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be discussing strong and weak acid and bases. So strong acid are acids that ionize completely. Strong acids they are acids that ionize completely. Also, strong bases are bases that ionize completely. They will ionize completely. So example of our strong acids, we have HCl, H2SO4, tetraoxosulfate 6 acid, we have HNO3. These are examples of strong acid, and the reason is because they are going to ionize completely. When you ionize HCl, you have H plus and Cl minus. When you ionize H2SO4, you get H plus SO4 2 minus. Right? So this is just examples of strong acid. While strong bases, we have like sodium hydroxide, NaOH. You have you have you have potassium hydroxide. So they will ionize completely. You have this to give you Na plus OH minus. Also your KOH, you have K plus OH minus. So that is example of this example of strong bases. So strong acid are acid that ionize completely, while strong bases will ionize completely. So let's move to weak acids and weak base. So weak base or weak acid, they will not ionize completely. They are acids that do not ionize completely. So and example of a weak acid, you have the ethanoic acid, CH3COH. So this is an example of weak acid. You have HCO3, right? H2CO3. This is example of a weak acid. While when we have weak bases, there are bases that do not ionize completely, but this one is base. So example of weak base, we have ammonium hydroxide. This is an example of weak base. We have NH4Cl and a lot like that. So this is example of weak base, because when you ionize this, you have CH3COO. See, we do not break this down completely. Minus plus H plus. When you ionize this too, you have H2CO3 to give me H plus then CO3 to minus. All right, so this is example of weak acid. Then weak base, you have like this NH4OH. So we are going to get our ammonium ion and OH, ammonium ion and OH minus. All right, so that is just the example of weak acids and weak base. All right, and so when we talk about dissociation, so dissociation, it involves the breaking down of an existing compound into its ions. It involves the breaking down. It involves the breaking down of an existing compound. So dissociation and ionization can be mistaken for each other. Ionization also involves the breaking down of a substance into its ionic form, but the difference is that dissociation involves the breaking down of an existing compound, while ionization involves the formation of an ion. All All right, so I said the breaking dissociation is the breaking down of an existing compound into its ionic form. For example, you can have a compound like sodium chloride. So if it dissociates, it can go through electrolysis, that is electrical dissociation, or thermal dissociation. We have different types. We have the electrical dissociation, which is also known as electrolysis. We have thermal dissociation. This one is due to the application of heat. So when we apply heat to a compound, it will break down into its ionic form. We have photo dissociation. That is the application of heat of light. All right. So this is just the types of dissociation. This one is due to electricity. This is due to heat, and this one is due to light. All right. So let's say this compound dissociates. So you have Na plus, then Cl minus. And also most times, dissociation is most times in accordance to salts. So most times salts will dissociate, right? You can have this, you can have CuSO4, this is a salt. So it will break down to Cu2 plus, then SO4 2 minus. So this is just, you can see you have an existing compound that is breaking down into its ionic form. While ionization involves the breaking down or the formation, this is just the formation of ion. So it's also like we're breaking down an ion, but it is due to the formation of substance. For example, you get it. For example, you have H2O with HCl. And most times, when we're talking about ionization, it is when you react the substance in water. So there will be the substance will be in its aqueous form. The substance must be in its aqueous or its liquid form. So when you ionize this, this hydrogen will join this water, and you have hydroxonium ion, then plus Cl minus. You can see this is due to a reaction of water and acid to form the formation of ion. So there will be formation of ion, but it is due to the reaction of two different compounds. While dissociation is when you have an existing compound that is breaking down. So look at this. You can have H2SO4 with H2O, right? So don't forget, one of these will come to this. So you have hydroxonium ion, then you have H plus, then SO4 2 minus. Okay, you can see it's breaking this down to H3O plus, then the hydrogen here will turn to H plus, SO4 2 minus. This is ionization because there is a reaction between an acid, and that is why ionization most time is between acid with water or base with water. All right, but dissociation is most times due to the splitting of salts. Okay, so let's move on to electrical conductance. So electrical conductance is from physics. Physics told us that conductors are materials that allow the passage of electricity. So electrical conductors electrical conductance is a process whereby a compound will conduct electricity. So that is electrical conductance, when a compound conducts electricity. All right, and you should know that strong acids or strong base are good conductors because they will ionize completely and will allow the total passage of electricity. So strong acid and strong base are good conductors, while weak acid and weak base, they are poor conductors. since they don't ionize completely, they will partially allow the passage of electricity. Though they will allow the passage of electricity, but they will partially allow the passage of electricity. So that is electrical conductance. So in this video, don't forget don't forget, generally acid will always produce hydrogen ion or hydroxonium ion, while base will always produce an hydroxide ion. All right, but strong acid and strong base will ionize completely, while weak acid and weak base will not ionize completely. And if you refer back to the video, we go through ionization, conductance, and dissociation. So let's go to this question. Question says, which of the following solution will conduct the least amount of electricity? Which of the solution will conduct the least amount? So let's check the first one. You have 2.00 molar equals of NaOH. Sodium hydroxide is a strong base, so it will always allow the passage of electricity. 0.01 of this, it will also allow the passage of electricity since it's still sodium hydroxide. Though it is just that the electricity that will pass through 2.00 molar will be greater than the one that will pass through 0.01 molar, but they will both allow the passage of electricity. 0.01 of ethanoic acid, that is C6H11, C5H11COOH, right? Ethanoic acid. So this is a weak acid. It will partially allow, that is, the one that will pass through option A will be greater than B and C. B is a weak acid also, though it is different concentration. This one is greater than B and C. Option B is greater than C, but then option C will pass, but it is smaller than these two because it's a weak acid. I know weak acid will partially allow the passage of electricity, but this question now says 0.01 molar equals solution of sugar. Sugar is a non-electrolyte, so it will not allow the passage of electricity even in its molten form. So since it will not allow, look at this, since this one will allow the passage of electricity, let's say at 100%, for example, this one is lower to this one is lesser, but this one is a non-electrolyte, it will not allow the passage of electricity at all. And the question says which one will conduct the least amount? So it is option D, because sugar is a non-electrolyte. In its molten form, it will not allow the passage of electricity. All right, so if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.